What's going on, everyone? My name is Max and I'm excited to show you how I restored this rusted and old magnetic sweeper with 3D printed components. So starting off, as you can see, the actual product when I found it was pretty rusted and pretty old, and taking it apart was extremely simple. So I was planning on reusing the hardware, but I couldn't take this piece off because the threads were dented and damaged, so it didn't fully come off. But there was no problem because I just bought the replacement for those hardware pieces and I 3D printed the brackets. And as you can see, those brackets aren't completely straight. I decided to follow the shape of the profile of the bent part of the metal, and at this moment it still holds pretty tight. It's a pretty good fit. Off camera, I decided to give it a fresh coat of paint on the metal part as well as on the wheels. So in this part, I'm just attaching the 3D printed component that connects the metal to the handle. I changed the original design a little bit since I wanted to introduce a rotary feature. That's why it looks different from the original as you saw previously, and I will explain further what that rotary feature is. If you're wondering why I'm using these clamps to hold down the 3D printed piece, is because there is a metal sticking out on the top that pushes the 3D printed piece outwards, and in order to close this gap I just decided to use some clamps to hold it down. In this part I'm just assembling the wheels to the brackets. As you can see, there is a center hole in the middle of the bracket. This hole allows the bolt to go up and down, and this allows the user to adjust the gap between the metal and the ground. So another different thing about the brackets is that they're holding the metal on the outside rather than the inside. I did this because I thought it would be a good idea to the 3D printed piece to be able to hug the metal part rather than just hold it by pressure on the inside, since it's plastic rather than metal. So in this part, as you can see, I decided to add this rotary feature. This piece has slots across its circumference, and it allows the spring that's already inside to latch on to whichever angle the user needs at that specific moment. And I thought it was a curious thing to add. If there is like a hard to reach spot, it can be adjusted for that reason. And this is the overall look. I'm pretty pleased with how it turned out with the fresh coat of paint and the new 3D printed hardware. It gives it a little bit of a nice contrast. This is how the product works originally, and it's pretty cool how it picks up loose pieces of nails laying on the ground. And this is pretty much how the rotary feature works. As you can see, the user can change the angles whenever they need it. And that's it for now. Thank you so much for watching. I had so much fun working on this project, and I hope you enjoyed watching it.